McClunky.
Bonsoir, Kaz. What the hell is this? Your show?
Sorry.
This
is
is
an accident.
Are you trying to take McClunky Squadron from us, bro?
He's been trying for about a year now. Actually, yeah. Shit, in a way, I guess we have been streaming for a year. Like, this is our kind of year anniversary stuff.
We did the year, yeah.
I can't believe you've done this, Kaz.
Because we started, I don't know exactly the day, but we started in October. Like, I think we might have even tried to be on October 1st, is when we did the first Roro stream.
Hell yeah.
But hey, everybody, welcome. We're talking about Andor, episode 5. I'm joined by my boys, AJ, Kaz, and Richard.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Hey. It's a very lax one today. We have low energy stream. We're no yelling.
I gave blood today. I feel like I'm gonna die any second.
Did you really?
You gave blood?
Yeah.
How does an egg give blood?
It's
the white of the yolk.
Okay.
Yeah, what's your blood type?
You give
for the personal reasons.
My blood type? What?
Is yolk positive?
Am I bad for not knowing my blood type?
I don't know my blood type either, honestly.
I was gonna say because I was like
I think mine's a B negative.
Is that actually a thing I'm very bad with?
Yeah, don't be negative. You gotta be positive, man.
Because it's like
I'm on a negative mood.
A positive, right? It's like
I'm joking.
There's like A's and O's. Isn't there an O?
A's, B's, and O's.
I have no freaking clue, dude.
Look at us. We're not an intelligent group of people. Like, if really, like, if we were
Speak
like,
for yourself, buddy.
If we were pulled up on the street by like a guy like a cash cab and he was asking us about this question, we would not be able to help. Holy shit!
First of all, if cash cab pulled you over and immediately asked your blood type, you're in the wrong fucking cab.
Like the guy would be like, I have a question about a blood type. And then we'd be like, we have no fucking idea.
I actually
holding a gun to your head, like, what's your blood type?
So basically, I could answer that. I know this. All right. So you can give blood if you B negative can go to any of the Bs and any of the As. Wait, no, I forgot.
Isn't it like you can go to a negative if you're a negative or something like that?
Speak for yourself, says Kaz the smart guy before he flounders in front of everybody.
Yeah. So A positive can only go to like the to the positives, and only on A. B negative can go to all the Bs. A negative can go to all the As. B positive can only go to Bs. O can go to all of them.
So, Kaz, of people of the axe and the tree, you are the tree because you remembered. Because the axe forgets, which is the name of this episode. Yeah, look at that. I tried.
Oh, that's good.
I gotta say, like, as for that aspect of this episode, I did like how narratively all of that kind of came into the story. I always love that kind of shit. So
that was really good. You should do like a podcast or something.
No, I mean I was talking about more so in the episode, but thank you, Richard. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
I was talking about the symbolism within the episode, but
that's actually my very first note for this episode is the axe forgets, but the tree remembers. Soon we will be doing the chopping, and how brilliant of a line that is.
Yeah, like there was a lot of good dialogue in this episode, I will say. Like I did like a lot of exchanges between characters.
Yep.
Because like the first 3 or I guess 4 episodes, yeah. The first 4 episodes, it's kind of getting used to what the show's going to be. And while I still think it's a little slow for my taste, I am getting more used to the fact that we're going to be taking our time. So that it's going to be a lot of character interaction.
I think it's hard to go into
I think She-Hulk in this episode was really... Oh, sorry, wrong one.
I feel like coming into this show, coming off the backs of Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett and all the other bullshit, it's kind of hard to like pull back a little bit and be like, okay, slower show, different type of show, relax. Well, because we're not going to see Rancors fighting in this one.
Normally, you'd see like Mando would come down to this planet in one episode and deal with the whole thing
and just stop blasting.
We'd be out of there. You know, I'm not even in a blasting sense. I just mean like he could be in this group of people, but I just think in that show they would have made it more condensed and be like, we're getting out of here. Like we're not going to like stay put for long.
Because I think that's what a lot of it is, like a lot of what shows are nowadays. Like things just happening super fast to like get to the next point because people get bored easily now.
Yes, I wrote a whole thing on that. I'll get there later.
Oh, but like this one's like much more episode. This one's much more slow pace and like I like it. I still like it. Like just.
Nah, fuck it. I'm gonna go in. So yeah, this show has like a sort of spy drama vibe to it.
Yeah,
and like the vibe I'm getting now, especially 5 episodes in, for one, we can't disregard the fact that Disney Plus has a serious problem with turning movie scripts into television shows.
Yeah,
because this is a
And vice
And,
versa.
yeah, vice versa.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right. So like I'm waiting for the inevitable better fan cut. But this show does right now feel like the sort of middle act of like a Bond movie where it's just like all the pieces are coming into place and we're about to hit that final act.
Mhm.
But even though it's like a super slow paced show, I think that a lot of people, probably most people, even myself to a degree, have been affected by this like onset of nonstop superhero bullshit, and that like surface level events and telegraphed characterization are all that people look for when like intelligent writing and beautiful cinematography and scene composition are kind of left by the wayside for like artsy nerds to look at. I think that like even at its slowest, this show is still smart. The writing is still believable. Characters talk over each other. They have various motivations. The lines between good and bad are blurry, and there's no clear like good or bad guy. Just really desperate people doing desperate things in a desperate time,
Like-
and I love it.
Things like this make me almost like agree with Martin Scorsese when he said
Yeah.
like Marvel isn't cinema, whereas like
Yeah, and the irony is I hated that when I heard it,
yes,
and,
still
and
don't
now
like
I
that.
completely agree with it. I
Yeah,
completely
exactly.
agree with it now.
me too, honestly. Like when I heard it, I'm like, that's bullshit. Like our Marvel's so totally cinema. Like Endgame was amazing, but now like looking at it, I'm like, shit. Like this is just fucking nonstop action
It's just,
bullshit.
yeah,
that
it's just stupid.
But I
now.
think that, like, to me, that it's not to jump to that front on like the Scorsese comments back in the day, but like it's to me still so like elitist to say shit like that and be like,
oh for sure,
Oh, for
for
this
sure.
is
Absolutely.
like
I even-
so not
No, but,
cinema.
like,
And I'm like,
it's
Jesus
like-
Christ, you're coming off like James Cameron being like, if you didn't watch Avatar in the theater, you never watched Avatar. And I'm like,
Well, like,
okay,
that's
chill
right.
out, buddy.
The thing is, like, recently
by that.
it hasn't been cinema, but like it very much can be like very good cinema. Like we've seen with Endgame and previous Marvel stuff, and like Star Wars in itself is a prime example of that. Where like right now, like some stuff isn't very cinematic or the same as what it could be, but
Boba
there
Fett.
are some great examples of it being that. You know,
I know that we aren't saying this, but I mean, like, Mando season 1, I felt was that. Like, Mando season 1 was like, holy fuck, when it came out. It felt like a electric shock to Star Wars to be like more like this.
it did. It
And then
did.
I'm-
And then
and
season
I'm-
2 is
and then
back
season-
to the same.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
And
like,
then that's why
I
I'm
even
cool
wrote
with this
down
show
that,
like existing, where it's like it's a slower show and it's for a
Right.
different demographic of people in the Star Wars fandom. Like, I don't think
Yeah.
the idea of everything being for everyone. It was like when fucking the show Resistance came out, right? And everyone was mad because we're so used to Rebels or Clone Wars, but people forget that even in those shows, like, there's kiddie shit. Like, there's stuff that is not for the older people watching. So Resistance was more focused on that, and people hated it for that. And it's like, that's not fair. You just gotta
Mhm.
acknowledge.
well,
that-
like Resistance is definitely aimed more at
Yeah,
children
more
than like the
younger.
other ones. Yeah,
which is, I think, is fine. Like, I think that those things should still be able to exist. Like, this is more for
but guys, Clone Wars and Rebels, holy shit! Like I love
but
that.
even then, like, those shows like very much start, and even in midpoints have very low tier episodes, like very like kiddie Jar Jar Binks episodes, where you're like, what the hell is this about?
I hated the Jar Jar episodes.
Skippable. But then yeah, like then we get a
Yeah.
nice version of the of this kind of show where I've started to notice that it's going to be like I imagine 3 episode arcs for each thing. So we're
Mhm.
going to see this culminate in the next one, and then
For sure.
jump to another situation for 3 episodes. And to me, it just really depends on what it is, because like maybe the ones after this are going to be super riveting, because I imagine all of these storylines that we're seeing are going to also culminate together. So
Well, like how you're feeling about this show is sort of how I'm feeling about like House of the Dragon, or the first few episodes of House of the Dragon, where it's like it's just slow, like nothing's really happening, you know?
Mhm.
yeah, but I
Yeah.
think in like the first, if for me the difference being at least that in House of the Dragon there were characters and performances that I was really getting attached to early on. In this show, I don't really have that, other than like when we started getting the ISB stuff in the 3rd episode or the 4th episode or whatever. I thought that was cool, but like everything in those first 3 was pretty bland in a sense for me. And I get that was probably the point, because that planet was a junk nothing planet. So
Yeah.
Kinda
That's
hard.
my favorite planet they've been on.
ever or recently, or like what do you mean? Like in
Honestly,
the show?
probably in the last several years of Star Wars, it is my favorite.
To be fair, because like every planet has been like the same, where it's like a desert planet, a forest planet, blah 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 blah. You know?
Yeah.
This one, even if it is just like a trash planet, like we haven't seen that yet, so cool.
I don't know. Like to me, like I don't know if I would be able to be like I was hype about this planet over like Navarro from like.
I
Mando
definitely
or
see where
something like
Richard's
that.
coming from, but like I want planets that are like Felucia. You know, like
we got to go back to
like,
Felucia at
that's
one point, please.
Not even that. Like I want more planets that are like that, where it's just crazy bombastic sceneries. You know,
Yeah,
absolutely.
for sure.
that make my eyes just pop with everything that I see, instead of just a fucking forest or a mountain scene or goddamn another fucking desert. I'm gonna rip someone's neck off. You know?
I'm
Like,
so sick of
if we
deserts.
could get like a really cool like visual like type of plant that you've made in CGI, like that's what this should almost be most of the time. I
Give me
think.
fucking Pandora from Avatar.
Even
Yeah,
that, I'd
you
be
know,
like, that's a little
speaking
too
of
basic.
Avatar, this I don't God, I don't want to sidetrack us too much, and I don't want to agree with James Cameron, but going back to that, I look, I know that it's elitist and it's a little gatekeepy. I get it,
Mhm.
but I do think that there is some merit to people like James Cameron saying shit like, you know, if you haven't seen Avatar in theaters, you haven't really seen the movie, because it's kind of true in a sense. So like, just with like
Imagine the kids
aspect
being like,
ratios
"What?
in
I
particular.
haven't seen the movie."
Well, what I mean is that like
when
when a director films a movie in a very specific way, it is designed to be seen in what is typically a cinema aspect ratio, which is
Mhm.
usually like 1.85 by 1, right? Then you go home and you watch it on a 16 by 9 screen, or back in the old days, it'd be on a 4 by 3 screen. And when you take a movie that is designed on a much wider aspect ratio, or God help you if it's IMAX, and then you crush it down and crop it to be 16 by 9, then most of the time it's actually breaking the movie. You're seeing like things that were initially on screen are no longer on screen. Like Blade Runner is
Yeah.
notorious for this. The original home cut for Blade Runner is a fucking shit show. It's so hard to watch it. There's stuff that actually you miss that isn't even on the screen. So I kind of understand where he's coming from to a degree.
yeah,
I'm not the guy that's going to be like, yeah, you don't watch real cinema.
Like
But
I would agree in the
I do
sense
think
of
that there's
only
something
like
to be
the
said about
scope.
that.
The scope of a movie is usually what I would agree with. Like I love seeing movies like Godzilla and Pacific Rim type things in the theater because it's a big holy fucking
Yeah.
movie, right? And I agree that the experience is kind of lessened after you see it there and then you watch it at home. It makes you want to watch it in a theater, but I also just think that like it's just hard to say that when if someone just hadn't gotten the opportunity to see the movie that way, and then like
Sure.
someone's claiming like you haven't properly watched this movie. Because
Yeah,
of
I feel
someone,
like
chill.
if it
Yeah,
was,
like-
I
yeah, like,
think
you said
if,
it
like-
best, like gatekeeping. Like I won't do that.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's a gatekeeping. I think if the showrunner or the maker of the movie said it, then I'd say it's like valid.
Well, that's
But if
what
like
it is.
you're
It's
like just a
Cameron.
standard
It's-
fan is like, hey, yeah, it's like if James Cameron was like, hey, yo, you haven't seen, like, okay, fine, you can say what you want, I don't give a shit. I've seen the movie you made. I might not have seen the edge things, but that's like I still saw it. But if like a fan was like, hey, yo, you haven't seen the movie, you haven't seen this, and I'm like, you know, shut the fuck up, bro.
Yeah, you
Well,
don't know what you're
here's-
talking
I'm
about.
gonna right to say that.
I do think it is important from a like just a cinematographical, what's the word for this, a
Mhm.
cinematography standpoint, because like Andor, for example, Andor specifically is not filmed in 16 by 9. It's filmed in 2.35 by 1, which is again a theater aspect ratio. So if you watch that on an improper screen, yeah, it can actually be cropped, or you might miss things. Now we're living in an age where you can just adjust the screen size, but
Yeah.
the reality is that the entire show and a lot of movies are not filmed on the size screens that we're watching them on. So there is something to be said about that.
It is rough on that side, sure.
I think like nowadays it's a bit more trivial because like we can adjust around it. Like if it was like when like we didn't have like things to adjust our monitors, it would have been like, because I remember like watching, like there was something I was watching about like I think it's like when you mentioned Blade Runner, I remember watching this one video talking about just movies that were like made for VHS, and like they looked better on VHS than they do on like the HD releases because like the whole
The transfers and stuff like that, like
yeah, like there's just something through like the scan lines, like, and like just like the like how like it's just like the interpretation of a movie is a lot
I think
more.
Jurassic Park for me is like a big example of that. Is like the
But-
VHS quality to Jurassic Park really helps
It
that
adds
movie a
to
lot
the
of the
quality,
time.
Yeah,
Because like of course like you can't see a lot of like the potential mess ups, right? Like I always have a problem watching Jurassic Park in high quality now because whenever you see where like the feet touch like on the ground, like they always try to hide that.
Mhm.
But when you see it, it's like, oh, there's the fuck up because that is just a 3D thing on top of like this area right now and it doesn't look real, but if you ignore that. Like on VHS like you would not see that because of the quality.
Yeah. Now that I've become like that fucking guy that people are going to hear. Like I do otherwise really love the pacing of this show. I think it would have been significantly better though as a movie.
Yeah.
Like this, I feel like the first 4 episodes of this show are just the first act of a movie, and we're approaching the middle act, and then the third act is going to be the end of the show.
I think that's kind of hard though with this one for me to gauge because like if it is so long and if it is so drawn out, I feel like cutting this down to like one movie would be hard. Whereas like I think if they were more okay
It's
with
2.
doing like a Werewolf by Night kind of thing, even right, where it's like not going to be a
It's
long
literally
movie.
2 movies.
Isn't that coming out tomorrow?
That's coming out tomorrow. Yeah, shit, that's coming out tonight in a way. Holy fuck.
So Andor was actually written as 2 parts of a novel. So if it were a movie, it would be 2 movies.
Yeah.
And it's as a TV show, it's getting 2 seasons.
Oh, so that's how you're saying that? Because like I know that the
Mhm.
second season is going to be like because this is all taking place apparently over the course of I don't know what they said like maybe okay this is
Bujo,
1
I
year.
made it.
This is 1 year, and the next season is going to jump. Every 3 arcs is going to be a different season, apparently, or a different year. Sorry, a different year. So like that one is going to be even crazier paced, if anything. Like I don't know how they're gonna. That season I feel is going to be a cameo season. Like it's going to be.
So
Mando
they're
season
intending
2.
to have like 5 seasons?
No. Like
Just
they
2.
wanted it to, but it's going to only have 2 apparently.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
that sounds like
definitely
a
gonna
good
be-
number.
That sounds like a way
next
better
season's
idea.
going to be the Mando season 2,
Yeah.
where it's just like, let's tie it in now.
Let's bring K2SO in. Let's bring
Yeah.
all these characters that you know. Like let's bring Saw Gerrera in. Let's bring fuck who else? Like Harrison Dula or some shit like that in the show. Like
If they did they have Harrison Dula in live action already?
they will have her in live action in a show. I think they did show that.
Was it in the Ahsoka show?
Yes, that's probably what it is. Yep. So I mean, I imagine she could show up. Like something like that is very likely. And knowing how this shit works, like it's gonna go that direction. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it, but yeah.
Can we talk about how my boy in space out there eating for real oops all berries?
Like I was eating some Nesquik some chocolate.
He mixes
I don't know what it is about
together.
Star
Half and
Wars
half,
food,
what
but
it
it
is.
either looks delicious or awful.
Yeah,
But that's
it's
But
really
like
good.
I like how grounded this show is, where it literally just shows like Star Wars takeout, Star Wars cereal
Yeah, dude's just eating cereal at the table with his mom.
with his blue milk.
His mom roasting
Sadly
him.
eating cereal.
I love
Yeah.
that back and forth. I love
That
like
entire
did
episode
too.
of just watching him eat cereal with his mom just fucking destroying him the
I
entire time.
love fluid hate. Like I love when you can like keep a conversation flowing with just hating each other. And I think that was really
Yeah.
well done in this show or in this episode.
I don't know if it came across as hate to me as much as just like an overbearing kind of helicopter
I
mom.
feel like the hate.
Yeah, that's
but-
what I got from it.
I do.
Well, I
love-
think like
what's-
the
what's his
mom
name?
loves the kid,
His name, like,
but the kid
Sybil
definitely
or
hates the
something?
mom.
Cyril,
you know?
yeah, or something.
Cyril.
Something like
I
that.
love that you see like his bedroom has action figures in it. He's got an overbearing mom. He
Yeah,
eats cereal
we
for
were literally
dinner.
pointing that out. Like we couldn't tell, but were those action figures like clone troopers?
Yeah.
Like what were they?
I don't know
Mm.
what they were because they were a little too blurry, but they looked like they were troopers of some sort.
Yeah,
But I feel like the dude is just
They
like
were the Bad
he's
Batch.
desperately just trying to like be
Goodness.
something. I don't actually think he's like a villain. I think he's just like a desperate guy just doing his best.
And now he's desperate, so he's gonna go kill Andor, but fail at it because he doesn't die for another 5 years.
I feel like he will end up becoming someone prevalent in a way. Like
Wait,
he will
spoiling
join the
it.
Empire and be useful because the Empire likes to use people just because they have like drive.
You
to do
know
something.
Andor.
I think he will end up as a rebel.
A rebel, really?
I think so too.
Yeah.
I feel it. I feel it.
I
You
don't
think so?
I don't get villain vibes from him. I think they're actually humanizing him to the point where
Like
I think he's gonna
like
be a
that guy
villain.
from Rebels.
Well, I feel like they're really like callous. Yeah, I think they're humanizing him to make it even harder for when he does become a pursuing like evil, right? Like
I think
It's possible, but I think it's redundant.
I don't
Because
think
we
they
already have
should.
Empire Girl.
I think he's gonna die. Like, if I'm being honest, I just think he's gonna. I think everyone in this show is dead. Like,
Everyone
Oh, yeah,
on that
definitely,
heist
like,
is
I think
fucking dying.
that one
That's
too.
for
I think-
sure.
But I mean, just like every plot line I see, I'm just like, well, like that
Mine-
person's gonna get killed by that person. This person's gonna get outed by that guy. Like, it's like no.
I
One's...
think what's gonna happen is like when it comes time to like the guy like he'll realize, oh shit, these are the bad guys, these are the space Nazis, and then he's gonna die to push further the cause for them. I think.
Yeah, if he does die, I think it's going to be in a noble way.
really.
Yeah,
Fuck.
that's my.
This is such a
Yeah.
crazy show. Like, I can't imagine that really for this guy.
He's my
fucking hate
favorite
this
character.
guy.
I really like.
Actually, I
No,
like
no,
him a
no.
lot. I like him a lot, but I mean, like, I fucking hate him, but I love him.
He's the most
I think
relatable,
that-
I think.
I think
Yeah.
what we're seeing, because even though they play it off in the first episode or so that he's like this corporate dickhead who's kind of like being antagonistic, like he's really just trying to do what he thinks is the right thing.
Yeah,
So I think he's inherently a good guy who's just caught up in Empire bullshit.
he's just a kid
I don't
wanting
think
to
he's
do,
going to be a
like,
bad
good on
guy
his
because
first
we
job.
already have the Empire bad guy. We have Empire Girl. I don't know her name.
I think
you
this
could
guy's much
also-
more complex than what we're just saying. Like
Exactly,
he's a
right?
rebel
He's
or an
probably got
empire.
like
He's-
way more going on. He might not even join a side at the end of this. He might just
True.
be like, fuck it.
Yeah.
He'll make his own secret third side
Colombian
of
Brujo,
assassins that will kill higher ups.
really like the tension they're building up. I would totally agree. I think that like that's one of the highlights of the show is that like the episodes build tension really well.
For sure.
And in this one, I felt it a lot when Andor was like getting questioned about like how to operate this whole thing, and it like literally was like, oh shit, like these people don't know anything, like, so they need.
Yeah,
I
and
really-
I love that Cassian is like quick to like
Yeah.
I will shoot you. I will shoot you. Do not touch me.
Yeah, it's very like nerve wracking the whole time. Where it's just like it feels like this could even explode. Like I feel like there's someone in the crew that is that's not Andor that is untrustworthy. In all honesty, that it's like something's gonna happen within this that fucks the whole thing up.
I think that the entire heist is bullshit.
Really?
Yep. I think that the heist is a cover up for an even greater operation. I don't know what it is, but that's the impression that I'm getting.
Maybe
is
like
that
this
the
is a
heist
distraction,
is a yes. The
And, like,
heist is
they-
a distraction for the real job that only
Because those
and all
two,
these people
like-
are gonna die.
Well, those two are going on like their own little thing, and no
Mhm.
one knows what they're doing.
exactly.
Cinta and what's her face?
Yeah.
And
I only remember
would
Cinta
even-
because she's cute.
I even wager that what they're probably really gonna do is probably kind of screwed up. Because I think that they're trying to paint a picture that no side is the good side here. That war just
Mm.
sucks.
Yeah.
I can see that being very true. Like we see like a very destructive thing happening to the Imperial side, and it's like played off, but it also kind of backfires and I think hurts our like the Aldon. I think that what's going to happen for sure is that temple little thing is going to get destroyed by like the rebel
Mhm.
people. Like, and that's going to be seen as kind of like a we fucked up, you know?
Yeah.
That would be like my exact scene guess. That's probably not going to happen because I was so specific, but that is my prediction. Just like
Yeah, there's,
Nemec dying. Nemec will die next episode for sure.
Nemec the Piccoloian.
Yeah, dude. I don't know if you caught that, Richard, but they straight up, because like his name is Nemec, and then the guy was like, yeah, that's Nemec. He's green. It's like, oh my god.
I think Sam's grasping that shit here, but yeah, it's funny.
But then they referenced One Piece later.
They said One Piece. That's it.
That counts as a reference.
We gotta come back in One Piece. That's all they said.
Granted, they did this in the last episode, but I still love that this show is making us remember that TIE fighters are fucking scary.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like even just one. I like that. Like that TIE fighter showed up and just like went across the screen and was just ominous. Very creepy.
Yeah.
Dude, it was fast as shit too. That thing zoomed on by, and like I love that they're like covering their ears because it makes that loud noise.
Yeah. That fucking asshole flyer, like going that low, like just he sees some farmers, like that's all he thinks they are probably, and just is like, hey, watch
He's
this.
trying to instill fear of the enemy.
Yeah, like fuck you, dude.
Hmm.
I hated. I mean, like, yeah, like I like that this isn't even like a
Fucking
character.
hate the Empire,
I hate
God.
the goddamn Empire, man. Like, what the hell? Someone should really
They
put a
did nothing
stop
wrong.
to those guys.
The Empire did nothing wrong.
Oh,
Oh, I don't know if I want to support that stance. Well, the Senator
no,
and Cassian are
so-
definitely plotting.
We are not responsible for the words of coming out Brewer Richard's mouth. He will not be joining us for future shows.
But I want
Yeah, I'm
to
a guest
know
on
who
the show.
all is in that closed circle on Coruscant. So my guess for that would just be like characters that I know so far would probably be like. So it's obviously Luthen Rael, Mon Mothma, and probably Bail Organa. Who else? Probably Ahsoka, I guess, maybe at this point, because it is only like 5 years before. She's probably involved.
Maybe.
I
I get so
I
lost.
think,
in the
I think
timelines.
they might bring her in.
I don't think they're. I honestly don't think that Ahsoka will show up. I'm not saying that
You
she
reckon?
I
will,
don't
but
think
like
so.
I think that
Like, it
if
could even be
anyone
like
show
in-
up, like Organa could show up.
Like in a what's it called way, like a cameo, like apparently. I don't think
Like a
it's gonna
name
be
drop
like,
or something.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, like I mean, if they
Yeah.
did that, they'd probably call her Fulcrum. I think like if you hear that, actually, it's a good point because Ahsoka is the original Fulcrum or whatever of like the Rebel Alliance. And I think that Cassian also takes up that name. So
Fulcrum?
yeah, like I think he was a Fulcrum member.
Fulcrum?
So like in season 2, where all the references are going to be, that's probably where that's going to happen.
They're gonna bring in Ahsoka, and they're gonna
tie it in
they're
with
gonna
her
have
show.
Dula, and then
The Mandalorian's gonna show
and then Ezra
up,
Bridger's gonna show
God.
up, and
and then the X-Men will be there.
and turns out the
Deadpool's
Andor's actually a mutant,
kissed.
and then that ties into the MCU.
I
Mutant
did
and
like seeing
proud.
that. Like, I love seeing that Mothma's relationship with her husband is like super scuffed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that her
It makes
daughter?
me happy. Like, it adds like a level of, I guess, like realism to the universe that they didn't need to add. Like, maybe they.
Why do they hate each other again?
Plotting
Is it? I mean,
I don't
it's
know.
realistic, but it's also like not realistic to me to an extent where it's like holy fuck, if you hate each other this much, throw one of like fucking kill the people. Holy shit.
Oh, but you've never seen that in real life though. Like, I've seen
I
countless
have,
people
but I mean, like,
this.
god damn, like, you have so many fucking.
Well, like if you're in like a rocky relationship, you're just gonna be like, yeah, just kill her.
Well,
Just
I'm not
throw her
gonna
out a
kill
window.
but I mean, like, I'm gonna be like, look, I'm on Mothma. I'm gonna break up with this guy. I have a lot of other potential.
Yeah, but like,
well, like if you've been married to
realistically-
this girl, this is more like a political marriage too. I'm sure.
Yeah, like that. I think that's why I like it so much, is because it just comes across as like these two don't like each other. They're stuck together for appearances, and it kind of feels a little bit more. I don't know. It gives me a sense of grounding in an otherwise bombastic Star Wars universe when I see like, oh, this is just a couple that doesn't get along.
Wow, we have an angry couple that don't like each other. We got space cereal and takeout.
It's just like real life.
Like, what did you read from him at the very end at his scene? Because I thought that was gonna go somewhere. Because when he asked the driver to like take like,
I think
the
he's
other
gonna
way,
assassinate Mon Mothma. The
I
silence.
thought that like I thought that within the episode we were gonna like see something like dark that he was gonna show Mon Mothma, like look at like all this stuff that's happening, that kind of shit. Like, but it was like instead it was just like a moment for him to be like maybe becoming good because he got the name of the driver. I don't know how to read that now.
I
I
think he
think
was
I think
being a
that's
little
just
pissant.
goes to show that he does not care.
Yeah, I
But
think
I mean,
it was
he did
showing that
ask
he's
to
just like
learn
a
the
prick.
name. Like,
Yeah, he has to learn the name so he could ask the
Yes.
driver to do something
Yeah,
else.
so he could like command the driver, not
I
so he could be his
guess.
friend.
but I mean, I don't
He-
know, because it showed more that he was like more like willing to know the driver's name rather than be like driver, like because that's what he was doing before.
Joe says a kyber crystal is actually one of the stones for the Infinity Gauntlet. Funny you should say
true
that. What is up with the kyber crystal?
I mean,
What's the
I
deal with
think
that?
Andor
It's
is
just-
secretly a
And there's a
Jedi.
Jedi.
It's just
yeah.
Luthen's.
No.
Luthen gave it to him as like a assurance, right? He's like, I'm gonna give this to you, and you're gonna give it to me when you come back out of this. That's
Did he? I don't even
Luthen
remember
is a
that.
Jedi.
That's literally what happened. Yeah.
That-
So y'all
that
don't
is
have
what
shit from the show because it's boring sometimes. and you fall
That's what
asleep.
happened.
Oh, it
That
is.
what happened.
It's very fucking like sometimes you're like, huh? What just happened? Like that's me.
I mean, I'll admit that I'm paying a lot more attention now than I was in the first 3 episodes.
okay, yeah,
for sure.
This episode was my favorite so far. I would say.
Yeah, like
It's
we've
just
all
gonna
agreed
get
that
better.
the show's kind of
Mhm.
boring, but yeah, I completely forgot that what's his face gave him that crystal.
Every 3 episodes will be the episode that like it makes it worth it to watch in a sense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's kind of like a really iffy way to watch a TV show, but I don't know. When you stretch out a character who people don't really care about in the first place to already like a 12 episode show, which is more than
Echo?
anyone has gotten. Echo, looking at you. Actually, I don't know if we know how many episodes that's getting, but still. But
Still,
is it
fucking
getting
Echo?
12?
I don't fucking
I'm
know. I
looking it
don't.
up.
I
I'm
don't
looking it
want
up
any.
right now.
I don't want a single one. That's.
I don't want a
that's
single episode of that
Yeah,
show.
not
a
one.
single episode is stretching that shit out.
I'm
To
looking
be
it up
honest,
right
I would
now,
have said the
honestly.
same thing about Andor.
Yeah, honestly, like
I'm also of the mind though that they shouldn't have called the show Andor. They should have called it something else.
Thank you for saying that, Richard, because I don't like that about the new thing we're doing in Star Wars, even in Marvel, I guess. But Marvel has like subtitles sometimes, but like
Hmm.
I don't like the name convention. Like just
It's
call it
a
something
dumb
else.
name because this show's not even really about Cassian Andor. Like it's just like Rogue One, where it's more about a cast of characters doing a thing.
Call it Rebel Rising or something like that. I don't know.
Right,
Some
like
shit
that makes more
that.
sense to me than like calling it Andor. It also it's not going to help the appeal of the show calling a show
Me too.
Andor when nobody remembers who Andor is.
Nobody remembers,
right
and
back.
people who don't
Okay,
don't really care about him.
Mm-hmm. So the scene where what's his name, Lucian?
Yeah, Luthen Rail, yeah.
Luthen. Okay, when he's in his little
Luthen.
office towards the end in his little warehouse.
And his
Did you guys catch the Indiana Jones Temple of Doom reference in there?
What was the Temple of Doom reference? I didn't see that one.
The stones in Temple of Doom
Oh,
that Indy's
shit!
after. They're up on the wall
Fuck,
in that
that's
room.
I was literally looking at that now that you say that, Richard, going like, those are things. Those are something.
Yeah. No, look, I'm not smart enough to have figured that out on my own.
Oh, okay.
I googled it.
What are
Because
these stones?
I knew there's something in there, and I saw those things, and I was like, those kind of stand out. They have little symbols on them. So I googled it, and yeah, they're the stones from Temple of Doom.
He also has more holocrons.
Did he?
Yeah, he has
It looks
a couple
like it.
holocrons for sure.
Oh,
Which-
oh no, you're right. He did. Yeah,
Which is
Or at least
definitely
something
going
that
to be a
looks
thing.
one.
Like, oh, that's Echo 3. I don't give a shit. This isn't even a show I'm talking about. He's definitely. I feel like that's going to be a big scene at the end of the show too, where he gets caught and he gets his entire like stash taken away because it's a big deal
My
for the Emperor-
holocrons.
for the Empire to like have all this stuff like on display. Because as we know, like by the time of A New Hope, like people don't really refer to like they don't really believe in Jedi shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
It's very uncommon to be like, yeah, I believe in that. Fuck, I'm
Yeah.
still trying to figure this out with the Echo thing. How long this show's gonna be?
One of my favorite
Too
things
long.
in this show. is
7
just how they-
episodes.
Too long.
Still too long.
7. Fuck, man.
Make it like
Should have
a
been 3.
make it like a 3-episode
Three.
miniseries. Like,
Yeah.
that's like,
Yep. Like
If
3 episodes
that.
tops, or like an animated
stop making
30-minute
things
feature.
full seasons.
Werewolf
Just make
by
them a
Night
fucking.
is gonna be a nice little hour and 20-minute long. I think it's not a long thing. It's gonna be a nice little short Halloween special. Do something like
Yeah.
that. Like,
But like, if you want like a spin-off of a show, make it like a 3-episode miniseries. And if the fans really like that shit and want more, make more after that. You know, like
I don't know if people gave enough of a fuck about Echo coming out of that show.
I
to be
did
like-
not.
I didn't care
Well, like-
at all.
Or like if you really want to make a fucking show about this random Echo character, make like a 3-episode miniseries, and the fans will decide if they want more of that shit. Because, God, stupid.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but Echo's not for the fans. Echo is checking a checkbox.
Yeah, in a weird way.
That's all that show is.
The only one that is, I would say that they're like in a bad way is for the fans is Agatha. Like that's because people had like a really good reception to that character, but I think that it doesn't mean that you need to give them a fucking show. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to like be like, oh, the fans really want like this character, make more of that. And it's like, you
Mhm.
don't understand us at all.
Is it Catherine Hahn? That's who it was,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
like I think like because I love her as an actress and I think she's great. And it's cool
Yeah.
to see her in more things, but maybe not in like a show like that. Like maybe she
Yeah,
shows
like-
up in another movie.
they
it's
they
gonna be
release
to
they release a
introduce
show. They release a show, and they're like, and like the fans are like, I like that character, and then the stockholders are like, they like that character. We can make money off that shit.
Yep, that's
like
exactly what it
Korg,
is.
make Korg even crazier in the next movie.
Make him the dumbest fucking rock you've ever seen.
Actually, put Korg in everything. Apparently, put him in fucking Endgame. Put him in like, who gives a shit, man?
Make this rock guy a big character for some reason. This one-off comedy character into an
Yeah, I
important
mean
guy.
that's because they gave Taika Waititi directorial control and he wrote the movie. So
Yeah.
that whole character is just like a self-insert ego trip for Taika Waititi.
They pushed him. They pushed him, man. Like they were like, go hard, go hard. And sometimes
Mhm.
it's. I think that because people complain about Marvel being a little too hands-on with like the directors or whatever, but I think that to an extent it's needed to kind of bring them in.
Oh,
and
for
rein
sure.
them in a
It
little
depends on the movie, though.
Yeah.
Like after Ragnarok did so well that they were like, oh shit, Taika Waititi, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then he released garbage, and now they're like, maybe not for the next Thor movie.
Because he's also going to be making a Star Wars movie, and I think that'll be like an interesting film. I think it'll be cool, but I think that after
I'm excited for it for sure.
I think that after
but
Love
I'm
and
gonna-
Thunder, I think they're going to rein it in a sense, because Star Wars is also a different.
I
He's
think
also
it's gonna get
directed
pulled.
Star Wars also before, in a sense.
Yeah.
With
And those
Mando.
episodes are great.
Yeah.
He did some episodes of Mando.
yeah. So like,
I
let's
wonder
go.
if he's even going to be in Star Wars, because the reception to Thor: Love and Thunder is not very good. It's certainly not Disney good.
I still think that they're going to go forward with it. I think that like Taika still has enough like rep in general that like he could,
let him
like, do
direct.
it.
Don't let him write.
Well, be sure.
God, do not let him write. I think Taika is excellent when you have a creative team like kind of keeping track of him.
Yeah.
Like when he's writing his own
Taika
stuff,
as like the
it's
head,
fine.
and then have like a nice
Well,
writing team.
Who wrote
with him.
Yes.
Hunt for the Wilder People? Like, let's get that guy to write the Star Wars movie, because that was a fucking dope movie.
Let's
I've
see.
not seen that.
You haven't seen Hunt for the
It's-
Wilder
it's
People?
really good.
Really good movie. Did you see Jojo Rabbit?
I did see Jojo Rabbit.
Fucking.
That's the
Mwah.
thing is like didn't Taika write that too?
I don't know.
I think
Written
think
and
he
directed
wrote
by
that.
Taika Waititi for Hunt
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
Wilder People.
Dude, see,
Yeah,
okay, so Richard,
when he's
that
writing
movie's
his
dope.
own content, he's great. But when he's writing
adapted
content
material?
that's established, it's different.
Okay, fair
And
enough.
then Jojo Rabbit was also written and directed by Taika.
So like
Right,
I
same
think
I
with
think
What We Do in
I-
the Shadows.
Like
I
he
get what
has
you're
a ton
saying.
of great movies, and I think that Thor: Love and Thunder was just a blunder. You know?
I get what you're
Everyone has
saying, that like it's if
Thor:
he's
Love and
adapting
Blunder.
if he's adapting a universe, like I think it's kind of true what you're saying, because he brings his own
Mhm.
energy to it. Whereas like if it's a movie like Hunt for the Wilder People or Jojo Rabbit, it's real and we don't have to bring our own like this whatever it's called, like predispositions like we have with Star Wars and Marvel into it.
You know who I would love to see like a Star Wars adaptation of a Wes Anderson.
That would be fucking hilarious.
Like that would be awesome, dude.
Darth Vader, Bunsen, Palpatine.
Are you
Like a Wes Anderson
Star
Star
Wars,
Wars,
if it was a Wes
movie.
Anderson-
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome, dude. I would love that.
I'd vibe with that.
Oh man.
Back to Andor, I do really enjoy seeing just little new things, you know, like seeing Mothma's fucking Coruscant limo. Like it's just neat. I just like seeing stuff like that, or seeing like the dam on the planet that Cassian's on.
Damn.
How
Oh,
it's just
sorry.
like a dam, you know? It's like they didn't even bother like making it a space dam. It's just a dam, because
it's
not
just a
everything
dam.
needs to be futuristic.
God damn.
I just really appreciate stuff like that. I like the kind of the look of it when you have like TIE fighters flying over what looks to be like a real life Earth thing. You know,
Yeah.
I just like that look. I think that's why people liked the new Star Wars movie, the first one anyway, The Force Awakens, when you have like the X-wings like flying over a river, because like you can actually believe that. It's
Yeah.
different than seeing them zooming around in space, you know?
Yeah.
And I think this show's really, really good at handling like just the look of things and the cinematography, with the one exception being the fucking AK-47s, which are very clearly just AKs.
It's got really grounded visuals. I also noticed in this episode,
But
though,
those
speaking
AKs
of
are
that,
gonna shoot lasers. I swear to God.
those AKs didn't really show up a lot in this episode, did they? I didn't notice them as much.
No, they did.
They did?
definitely
Okay, wow. Fuck. I honestly, because I noticed when they were all like going down, or when the fight was going down between Andor and the guy who's paranoid, like everyone whipped out guns, and I was looking for the AKs, and everyone had like
Yeah.
a normal Star Wars gun. I was like, what the fuck? What
Well,
happened?
see, like,
when the
the
dude
thing
was like
about this
teaching
is,
them
like,
how to
my
walk like
eyes-
soldiers, you could see
My
them.
eyes
Okay,
aren't
okay, I
drawn
remember
to
that.
the AKs, so
Mine are too, and I can let it go.
I can let it go.
because
Because,
Star
like,
Wars is a universe made of trash anyway.
yeah.
But I do think they should have done something about it.
I think no, they're using in this scene. They're using like the normal like stormtrooper blasters. The AKs aren't even.
Were they? Okay.
What the hell? What happened? That's weird to me. Almost that it's like maybe on that day of shooting, they were like, we don't have the guns. No one's gonna notice. That'd be fucking.
I know I
hilarious
saw
to
them
me.
at least one time.
They gotta be
'cause
somewhere in this episode.
It was the first thing I noticed was like, okay,
Everyone
no,
noticed.
they are straight up just AKs.
Pulled an
There's like a
AK-47
couple
out
of
from under his
slight
hat.
modifications.
Blew Batman away with a rat-a-tat-tat.
Yeah, take us back to 2003, everybody. But
You guys.
yeah, that's weird. But I mean, it's also weird to me in a sense that they wouldn't have kept those props to keep it consistent. I don't know if it, like they're probably somewhere around, but I just cannot see them. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait for them to shoot.
Those AK-47s are for sure going to shoot lasers.
They're for sure going to shoot lasers,
Definitely.
but I cannot wait to see how it like kind of sounds because every gun sounds sort of different.
They,
In Star Wars.
they sound exactly like an AK-47, but shoot
Shooting
lasers.
lasers, that'd be the funniest. Like this show looks visually so good that happening would be hilariously done in contrast. Like I'm in.
It is weird to me how much of an oversight that was. Where like you guys put so much work into making this look super Star Warsy, and then you fucked that up.
Like
That's like the easiest thing you
wrap
could
the
have
gun
fixed.
in something. That's all I'm
Right.
saying. Just do something to make it look not like
Attach
exactly
like
an
a
AK.
soda can to the side
Yeah.
and paint it or something. Like that's all
Yeah,
you gotta do.
It was even like when I was
Dude.
watching Braden play Cyberpunk, it was like just when you put like a little bit of tubing on a gun, it makes it look that much more futuristic, and that's all I
Yeah.
need.
I have personally made better Star Wars weapons on my own than Disney has in this show.
Than just an
Yeah.
AK-47.
It just comes off as lazy.
It was weird. Yeah, like all of these are just like stormtrooper guns. So like, I mean, maybe it's because they're preparing for their like infiltration and they have to look really like in character with it, right? Like they don't have AKs
Yeah.
in the base. But it is just so weird to then have them show the AKs in the last episode in the first place. Like that was a weird choice, I think. But
Hey, what do you guys think is up with Dude's tattoo?
Crate Head?
Yeah.
I think he might be from Tatooine. I don't know if only Crate Dragons
See,
are from Tatooine.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like because there's no way to know. I guess shit. I kind of want to go back and watch it with subtitles. Is it crate like crate dragon or crate like box?
I think it was spelled
it
like
was spelled like
crate.
Crate Dragon.
Okay.
Like it was definitely KRAYT. And so
Okay,
now that you're saying that,
interesting.
okay, this actually is adding to the thing that I was talking about. So when Andor asked him, like, what kind of farmer was he? He said his brother was a tree farmer. And if he's from Tatooine, like, if we're actually being meant to be, like, picking up on these little things, that's a lie. That's a fucking lie right there.
They're meant to be farming moisture. I know my Star Wars.
Maybe that doesn't mean his brother was on Tatooine.
I
you
guess
know?
not, but, like,
It made it like I don't know the context entire. None of us do, but it sounded to me like he was like enslaved on Tatooine or something. Not that his family was from there.
All right, I looked it up. I don't know if this one's real. All right, so they're like, yeah, the Crate's head is a vague reference to the Crate Dragon, yada yada. But what does the by the hand mean? Like his other tattoo? Although it's not outright confirmed, it's possible that by the hand refers to the elite group of secret operatives who work directly for Palpatine called the Emperor's Hand. In
Well, actually,
Legends
that is-
/ expanded universe canon, Mara Jade, eventual wife of Luke Skywalker, was the Emperor's Hand.
yeah.
No way.
I don't know about this.
way.
That's a bit of a stretch.
But, like, honestly, like, in a sense, well, because, like, even Cassian referenced it, he knew what it was. So I think if he knew that that's what that was, he would be way more, like, concerned.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
This fucker is Palpatine's hand, so we should.
It turns out he's actually a Palpatine.
If that, oh my god, if
He's
if
the
that's
first clone
case,
of Palpatine.
I would honestly be less into that. I'll be totally honest. I just
I
want
don't
this
think
guy
it's
to
anything
be
like that.
a shitty guy,
Disney.
but I don't want him to be like one of like the like pretty much on the same level as like someone like Mara
Yeah,
Jade. in
I don't
the
think
old
he's a
canon.
big. I think Disney very clearly wants
This
to get
guy-
as far away from Mara Jade as they can.
I think this is confirmed that this guy is going to marry Luke Skywalker.
I agree.
This guy is Mara Jade, just wearing like the face changer stuff.
What if we find out in the last episode they like zoom in on like an ID tag and it says his last name and it's Jade?
Jade. Oh my god, I would lose my mind. You say that as a joke, Richard, but seriously, that would be fucking
I
hilarious.
would love
to me.
that. I would hate it, but I would love that they had the stones to
Yeah, I'd be
do
like,
it.
you got balls, Star Wars. Like, I'd give you that. Just for trying to even pull shit like that. You got balls.
Oh my god, that would be so amazing.
Everyone knows you are helped and hurt by the hand that feeds you. It's spooky. I don't like that.
Easy there, Trent Reznor. Calm down. Sorry, Nine Inch Nails joke. I don't want to brag, but I've got all their albums on vinyl.
You really?
I wouldn't be
Yeah, I'm a
surprised.
big fan.
Yeah, big
Big
fan.
fan of Nine Inch Nails.
Just the casualness of that. Yeah, big fan.
Look, I think that I almost hate to admit this because I know that Andor is boring, at least right now, but I do think that Andor is a good sign of television going forward. I think we need more shows like Andor and Hot D to kind of remind us of what good cinema is, like what good writing is, and maybe we can get away from shitty bloated money sinks like Rings of Power or Trojan horses for activism like She-Hulk. Just give me more good writing, please. That's all I want.
Wait, Richard, did you watch the last episode of She-Hulk yet?
Not yet. Oh
Oh
god.
man, okay. Damn it, people.
I think Richard's gonna hate it.
I think you're gonna hate it, but I will say it right now. I'll give a heads up to my thoughts on Saturday. I liked it. Actually,
Of course you did.
I enjoyed this.
So what did you like?
I was like, oh shit.
What this episode?
I like this episode of She-Hulk. But
Can we talk about the ex-corporal's very space Italian mom?
Yeah, she's very, very much space Italian, dude. I didn't make any spaghetti for dinner, so go ahead and grab yourself some cereal.
is she was the best because yeah, like I was saying, like the hate acting between them, like or not the hate potentially, but like just the dialogue between them was so.
It's definitely
good.
like I can't stand my mom. Like this woman, I hate that I'm stuck at home. I lost my job and I had to move back in with my mother,
who is literally
You know, like-
disappointed in me and just will not like stop reminding me about it. So yeah,
That's why I don't think he's going to be a bad guy because I think that's super relatable.
I just think
I
that
totally get it.
it's a pathway to make the bad guy relatable, though, in a sense,
It
where
could
it's like
be.
we're
It very well
following
could
a
be.
bad guy, but we're like, oh, I relate to him.
That's why I think it's a misdirection, though. I think that the seeing him do shitty things in the first couple of episodes is to set up that this guy will do anything for what he believes in, and I think that is like that's kind of a red herring that he's actually going to be a good dude. He's just down the wrong path right now.
I
would also say,
I would be so bummed out
honestly-
if he came out into the rebellion out of the show. I'm not gonna lie.
This is what I mean. Like I think he's deep down a good guy, and I think that Cassian deep down is a bad guy.
But we learned that that's like not true.
It's totally true.
Nah,
Cassian's a
because
dickhead.
He's a good guy at heart. Like that's the thing. Like
No.
by Rogue One, we learned that
he's a guy
good
that does a good thing. He does a good thing. That doesn't make him a good guy. He
Sure,
was
but,
willing
like,
to blast somebody.
The message of that movie was that he wanted to be like not that anymore and wanted to be better.
Well, I think throughout the movie, he's still kind of a fucking bad
He's a
guy.
shithead.
That's
Yeah.
what he's trying. And then he
Like,
he has
in
that
the first
moment where
episode
he's
of the
not
show.
gonna
He shoots
shoot-
a man in the face.
Sure. But I'm saying like that's the thing with the show as well that I have a semi issue with is that we're not really gonna. And if we do see character growth, it's not gonna be like. I don't know how to word that problem. I guess, but like, it's the prequel problem where you're like, we're gonna see this character kind of have to go through nothing until he gets to the point of the movie. You know what I mean? Is that making
Yeah.
sense? Kind of.
It is. I think he's more of like a sort of failed Han Solo, where Han Solo starts off as like morally gray, then turns into a good guy and does a good thing, and goes out doing a good thing.
Well, I wish we had
think
seen
Cassian
Cassian
is
at the
more of
beginning
like-
be good. And
I
then
think
fall.
Cassian is a morally gray, possibly even leaning in the bad direction character
Yeah.
who is doing good things just by sheer coincidence.
He's doing good things because he's paid to do it.
Well,
Yeah.
currently though, but like at one point he will be involved in the rebellion, and like even then still be shitty. But like that rise and then still shit. You know what I mean? Like in this show is gonna be weird to watch.
Yeah.
Is if that makes
That's-
sense. It's an interesting character arc, I guess, because we haven't really seen it in Star Wars per se. But
Yeah, true. I think even joining the rebellion and doing his thing, I don't think Cassian is doing anything for reasons other than his own selfish reasons.
his own self survival or whatever they call it, like
hmm
for sure, I guess. But that's I think that's just in general like the rebellion at this point, right? Is that
Yeah.
it's people see
True.
it as like the we have to like we have to just do something at the bare minimum, and like I otherwise I'm dead, so I have to do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how a lot of people in Rebels even end up becoming part of the outer crew. I would say is that it's just like, well, shit. That's
Yeah.
the Rebel motto. Well, shit.
Well, shit.
I guess I'm involved now, so fuck.
Yep, I do. They dropped
Well-
a little line in the last episode, I think, about different factions of rebels. Like they
Well, like-
mentioned, like if Saw Gerrera saw you do this, he'd smack your head open or something. And they mentioned like multiple factions of rebels, and I kind of want to see more of that.
Is
But,
that
yeah,
so?
look, sorry.
That one guy said a line. He's like, "Everyone has a reason to be a rebel," you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, like because
Yeah,
the Empire just does so much shit that it's like, well, you're gonna eventually piss off somebody, so of course.
right. And we saw in Bad Batch that like there's still like some separatist shit out there just floating around and stuff, you know?
Mm.
So like are there still like separatists that are part of the rebellion now, or are they rebelling?
Oh,
in
yeah.
their own
A lot
way?
of for sure, yeah. A lot of the separatists make up a lot of the rebellion because they turned on that front. I
Mhm.
don't know how to fucking word that again. Like I'm struggling to find the words, but like pretty much like
Well, that's because you're dumb.
yeah, it's exactly what it is. Yeah, I rolled very low on intelligence, but like it's just the fact that like when that war ended, they pretty much turned all of those like separatist people into like this like shittier tier planets and not maybe enslave them, yeah, and like just use them to do shit, right? So
Hmm. I want to see more of that, though. I want to see stuff that makes the universe feel big. You know, if the separatists were as big as we're shown that they are, there should be like derelict separatist ships floating around, like maybe like rogue droid armies. There should be more than just like they're gone forever. Get used to it.
I think that we're gonna see that kind of thing a lot more in the Bad Batch era because this is pretty like close to New Hope, so I think a lot of that stuff has
Yeah.
been cleared out.
What the
But
fuck, Jacob?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't want to be that guy, but like Jacob's request.
Yeah, we might have to ban this guy. It's kind of being hostile in the chat.
oh
Ban
man, but I
AJ?
love
Alright.
Jacob.
No, ban AJ. No, Jacob.
Oh,
Okay, sorry,
yeah.
AJ.
Sorry, dude. You got to go.
Sorry.
Before
Well,
before,
alright, well.
The
before
tribe
we
has
kick you,
spoken.
see you.
okay. Oh, I was gonna ask. Okay, wait, no. Okay, before we kick you properly, what were your thoughts on this episode? What are your thoughts on this show going forward? Kicks him.
I think going forward, yeah.
Yeah, I can't
Yep.
wait to see the visuals in the next episode. That's my thing. It took me this episode to figure it out that it's going to be 3 episodes, but I was like, because I thought the whole time again that we were going to see the actual thing happen. They were going to go into the base and take it,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, here we go. And then the episode ended. I was like, fuck.
Well, my thing with this episode when they were looking over like the canyon at like the thing, and like it was in the distance and you could see the ship flying towards it. I was like, wow, that looks really fucking good, actually.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see how that looks when there's a meteorite shower thing going across the sky. And
Oh yeah.
looks dope as hell. Thought that was gonna be this episode.
Yeah, I'm super excited going forward with what this show's going to do. I think that this show's entire fatal flaw is that it's a show. It should have been a movie,
Mhm.
or at least a miniseries, because it does have a lot of fat that could have been trimmed. But my ask for you guys is going forward, pay attention to the aspect ratio of this show. It is shot in a very, very, very filmatic kind of way that you don't get with a lot of TV
I've
shows.
already noticed
I'm
it, yeah.
currently watching it right now. Like whenever we're talking about it, I always have like scenes going on in the background, but like I noticed that it's a lot more like it definitely has like that cinematic quality, like as opposed to
Yes,
like when I go to like
very,
She-Hulk,
very, very wide
it just
shots.
does not have that at all, right?
Dude, She-Hulk is a made-for-TV sci-fi
Yeah.
original.
I honestly, I am so excited for you guys to watch this episode, and I want Richard to be on Saturday. Like, yo, I had a time. Like,
I have feels in this episode.
if you came out of that episode and were like, that was actually kind of fun, I would be elated. I would almost, I think I'd cry on stream if you said that. But
Dude, I'm gonna watch it after this, and if you guys
Hey,
are
Vix.
still in Discord, I will pop in
Yo,
just to let you know what I thought of that episode very
oh,
quickly.
man.
Because if I think it sucks, I'm gonna pop in. I'm not even gonna pop in. Tell you what, if I don't jump into Discord when you guys are in there later, I didn't like it,
Oh
and
man.
I'm saving my thoughts.
Oh man, that's scary.
What show is this for? Sorry, I was zoned
for,
out.
for She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
Uh-huh.
You always zone
Guys,
out
I
when we
just
talk about
imagine
She-Hulk.
you're eating
I
breakfast
zone out
like,
whenever
all
you
the
guys are
time.
just talking.
Kaz is either wow. Kaz is
No,
either
it's not my
eating
fault.
breakfast or drawing or sleeping. Those
No,
are Kaz's
right.
three
I'll play
modes.
Sonic
fucking
Heroes.
up,
We're
Richard. You know
playing
this.
Sonic Heroes.
Sonic Heroes.
Nah, don't disrespect, yo. Like,
It's-
don't.
Look, look, of the Sonic games, that is like the one good Sonic
We
game.
we were we were playing Civ yesterday, and he's getting mad at us for not telling him that the turn was over.
Yeah,
because I was
it's
playing
like,
Sonic
fucking
Heroes.
hell, man.
Waiting for you like to finish your turn, and I'm already done because I'm getting bullied by
That's not
barbarians.
even true because you so many times you wouldn't click next turn, so we were still waiting.
No,
on
no,
you.
that was twice. I counted.
Yeah.
That was
There'd be
fucking twice.
times where we were like, Kaz, waiting for Kaz, and like everyone else was
Waiting
talking over
for
me, so like they
Kaz.
can't hear me, and then we're like, Kaz,
Waiting for
I already
Kaz.
fucking press
I got the invite.
Waiting for Cat.
I got the invite to play Civ, but I'm like, dude, it is 11 p.m. where I'm at.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't know what time it
Hey,
is.
we're maybe
in
playing again
Freedom
today
Land
if you
or
wanna
outside
play
of Freedom
some.
Land.
Yo, Richard, yeah, if you want to
Jesus
join.
Christ, I live on American time, sir.
Sir, I also live on American time. You know this.
Oh man,
You live on Canadian time, my guy.
my guy.
My guy. True.
Any other closing thoughts? Like, because that was the thing coming out of this episode as well that I thought like it's not really a meaty episode. There wasn't a whole lot of like things to talk about. I think in a way, but we did manage to talk for an hour like we always do. But I think it's just we love each other and we want to chat.
Yeah,
Well, also
Oh,
some of the
speak for
times we
yourself.
just drifted off to other shows.
Some of the times we talk about
Yep.
She-Hulk. You're right, but
I didn't say anything about Rings of Power this time.
you did a little bit. You said one thing.
A
I
little
did
bit.
notice
One sentence.
one comment about Rings of Power. I did write it down.
I called it bloated, but you know,
Took a
Actually,
jab.
it's funny.
You definitely
That's
like.
funny you say that because I was gonna say like this like feels like just like a lot of bones for a show right now for
Yeah.
me. In like and like I think like it's a tasting, isn't it? Like we. Oh look at that! I'm finally bringing up like my opinions. Like after like silence for like an hour. It's my
yeah,
time
we were about to
shine.
leave, Kaz, but whatever.
Yeah, like I had to. No, but, like I think going on that point you making Richard about like like this is like this direction TV's going. I think like although it's not for me, it's got bones and like the meat will come, but like it's like with Game of Thrones, like it's like we were talking
Like
about
with
this last
Rings of
night, like,
Power.
it's just- I haven't seen Ring of Power. You know this.
If
But, like,
okay,
with,
here's
like-
the thing: if Rings of Power was
like,
12 episodes, I'd be pissed.
It's like a slow
I think this
crawl.
bodes well for the future of TV.
I think TV right now I think it's an exciting time to be like to be a nerd. I think.
Very much so. Whether you love it or hate it, it's a good time to be a nerd.
Yeah, new Pokemon game coming out later on.
Are you seeing you for Giraffe Rig?
Holy
I
shit!
don't- I don't- I don't
Sorry,
play-
I'm-
I thought we were
I don't
talking
play
about TV
Pokemon,
shows
that's-
and things like that, and you're like, yeah, new Pokemon game.
Nerd.
yeah, an exciting time to be a nerd,
Yeah, dude, I play football, not fucking Pokemon, dude.
bro.
Is that true?
A
I
little.
wouldn't be surprised.
A little.
It's the wrong kind of football. I just kick a ball around.
Ew,
Best
wrong
man.
football.
Football.
Gross.
Ooh. I know, right? Gross.
Well, the other
We
one is
play-
you literally
we
throw
play
in
egg ball.
an egg. Yeah, I was gonna say stupid.
What do you think I'm gonna play,
Richard-
dude? Look
Richard
at my
is the
face.
ball.
Yo,
Okay, we're done here. We're
are
done
we?
here.
Shit.
Sign me out.
Like it's like Mike Wazowski when he plays volleyball or whatever.
We'll
I
do
hate
we'll
this
do this
show.
at the very end. What would you have given this episode out of 10? What is your rating?
I don't know,
Who?
but I feel like this is the highest out of like. Did you say 2?
I said who?
Who?
I think for me, like overall,
No, this episode. Just
maybe
this one.
like a 7 out of 10, but like for Andor, like an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I would put this one at 7. This one is like a very middle, or not middle, but like it's better than the other ones because the other ones for me were like a 5
Yeah.
or a 6 or so.
I
but, like,
almost think it's wrong to rate Andor like this because I
Yeah.
don't think it's that kind of show.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think like
we
it
could
needs
rate
like
the
I-
arcs in a sense, like
Yeah,
each
the way
three
I
episodes.
the way I feel about it, it's like a sum of like it needs to be like it's like the whole of its parts. Like with Game of Thrones
Yes.
and Hot D, you can I feel like you can rate that individually. Like this, I feel is like it needs to be.
Because it's a movie.
Yeah,
This is a
It's
movie.
a
We're watching a movie broken up.
this shit
It's a
movie. Sleeping through it all, but it's a movie.
Yeah, I came out of Multiverse of Madness in the first 10 minutes, and then I rated it.
All right.
No, I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm comparing it to that sense where it's like if you like just rated each one of these shows for like a movie purpose, like it wouldn't work, right?
Oh, okay.
10 out of 10.
I was just like, are you like flexing on us right now?
No, like I mean, like, hey, I might not have liked the
Cool,
movie,
dude.
but I watched the whole movie.
when I got out of Multiverse of Madness, the first thing I did was I went to sleep.
I
'Cause
did
it
that while
was
I was
late.
watching
Jesus.
Multiverse of Madness.
Anyway, Andor good. Me like.
And okay.
Give it 8.
And-
I'll give it 8.
Andor decent. just say the name and your feeling.
Andor, meh.
God.
Andor, hungry.
All right, we are gonna raid into Iceberg Synth today. They're playing Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic, a fitting thing.
What a wonderful game.
I know. We discussed.
Don't
this
you
before.
agree?
Oh man.
Don't you agree?
Let's just say I can't wait until the remake comes out.
What did
Agree
you
with
What did
me!
you say, Richard? What
I
did you
think
say?
it's the
I didn't
best
hear
game
you.
ever made.
I've never. You know what? I never finished it. I got stuck as a kid. I'm stupid.
I recently finished it for like the 18th time.
Yeah, no,
It's
I'm a
one of the
stupid.
greatest games ever made.
I don't doubt that. Like I don't doubt it. Like when it came out, I guarantee you, probably amazing.
No, you said they look stupid.
No, but
When
like,
it, when it
They
came
said-
out,
when it
it
came
kinda
out,
looked
these
right.
people,
when it came out, it looked great. But I look at it right now and I want to fucking puke. I'm sorry, but
Oh,
like,
I hate you. Just initiate the raid.
I'm putting things in 1 second. Like it looks fucking god awful. I'm sorry.
You gotta spend about 7 days modding it to make it look modern like I do. Be more like me.
Oh,
Obsessive
God.
compulsive.
Spend
so
hours
sorry.
of your time to make it look like a better game.
Exactly.
We got McClunky, we got Monkey, and we got McClunky with Kaz being all suspicious.
I'm always suspicious.
Alright.
Okay, you can also put that one in
Alright.
if you want to, I guess.
But you get that slander if you put that in. That's slander
Check
right
check
there.
us out tomorrow. We're gonna be playing Phasmophobia at around 12. Check us out.
No, we're not.
We're not.
No,
Never
we're
mind.
not.
We're not doing that.
No,
We're
we're
not.
not. Well, actually, no. You guys can. You guys can. I can't. I mean, AJ.
I'm
can't.
gonna be playing it in VR.
Okay. And then later that night, we're gonna be playing D&D, Terrifying Territories Fro, and then
Think about
the day
it!
after we're gonna be talking
Oh,
about
you're
She-Hulk.
just
McClunky.
And my axe.
McClunky.
in my axe.
Oh man.
Interesting.
You too soon.